And welcome back to my Easy Guru channel. So in previous video we have covered 10 Selenium interview questions, and in this video we're gonna cover next 10 Selenium interview questions. So let's get started. So our first question is, what are the different locators used in Selenium? So in Selenium, locators are used to identify and interact with elements on a web page. So they allow you to locate specific elements based on their attribute or properties. So our first attribute is ID. It locates an element by its unique ID attribute. Next one is class name. It locates element based on the value of their class attribute. Name. It locates element by name attribute. Tag name. It locates element by their HTML tag name. Link test. It locates anchor element with an exact match of visible link test. Partial link test. It locates anchor element with a partial match of visible link test. CSS selector. It locates element using CSS selector, which allows you to target elements based on their attribute, classes, IDs, and etc. And last one is XPath. So it locates element using XPath expression, which provide you a powerful way to navigate through element in an XML document. So let's move towards our next question. What is the difference between find element and find elements? So find element is used to locate and return the first matching element on the page, and find elements is used to locate and return the list of all matching elements on the page. So if multiple elements match the given locator criteria in case of find element, then it returns the first matching element. And in case of find elements, if multiple elements match the given locator criteria, then it returns the list of all matching elements. If no element is found, it raises no such element exception error. And if no element is found in find elements, then it returns an empty list. Find element, the return type of find element method is web element, and the return type of find elements method is list web element. So our next question is, how do you move Selenium driver from one window to another window? So first we need to find out how many windows are open. And we can do this by using the method getWindowHandles. So once we find the list of all active windows, we can move to our desired window, which is child window, by using the another method, which is switch to window, and then you can write window name. So after completing your operation in a new window, we can get back to our main window by using the method switch to default content. So our next question is, what is the difference between implicit wait and explicit wait? So implicit wait is a global setting applied to the WebDriver instance, and explicit wait is a specific wait applied to a particular element or a condition. So implicit wait sets a maximum amount of time for the WebDriver to wait for an element to appear on the page before throwing no such element exception. And explicit wait allows you to define the custom condition and wait for a specific amount of time until the condition is met or a timeout occurs. Okay, once said, the implicit wait applies to all subsequent find element calls throughout the WebDriver's instance lifetime. And explicit wait gives you more control over the wait condition and allows you to wait for a specific element to be clickable, visible, or any other desired condition. So implicit wait applied automatically and continuously for each element lookup, and explicit wait is defined using the WebDriver wait class and until methods. So if element is found before the specified wait time, the WebDriver proceeds with the next step immediately in case of implicit wait. And in case of explicit wait, it provides flexibility by allowing you to wait for a specific condition or a combination of conditions. So next question, can you give the list of some exceptions in Selenium? So the first one is no such element exception. So it's thrown when an element could not be found using the specified locator strategy. Second one is timeout exception. Thrown when the time limit is exceeded while waiting for an element to be visible, clickable, or present on the page. Third one is element click intercepted exception. It thrown when another element intercepts the click action, preventing the desired element from receiving the click event. Fourth one is invalid element state exception. It's thrown when the attempting to interact with an element is an invalid state, such as sending keys to a read-only input field. So fifth one is invalid selector exception. It's thrown when the provided selector syntax is invalid or not supported. Sixth one is no such frame exception. It's thrown when attempting to switch to a frame that does not exist. Seventh one, no such window exception. It's thrown when attempting to switch to a window that does not exist. And the last one is unhandled alert exception. It's thrown when attempting to interact with an alert dialog that is not handled. So our next question is, how can you run single method in multiple times in automation? So to run single method multiple times in automation, there are two ways. The first way is we can use simple Java loop, for loop and while loop. And the second way is in the test ng/JUnit framework. By using the test annotation, we can use the direct property invocation count. For example, test invocation count is equal to 5. That means we run the test for 5 minutes. Why is main method static? So the main method in Java is declared as static because it needs to be executed without creating an instance of the class. So when the Java program starts, it doesn't have any object for instances created yet. So therefore the main method needs to be accessible without any object context. Okay. So here are few reasons. The first one is entry point. The main method is the entry point of Java program and is executed when the program starts. And since there are no objects created at this point, the method needs to be static to be directly accessible. Next one is class level scope. Static method belongs to the class rather than an instance of the class. They can be called directly on the class itself without the need to create an object. This allows the main method to be invoked without any object context. Next one is simplicity. Making the main method static simplifies the execution of Java program and it avoids the need for creating an instance of the class before invoking the main method. And the last one is convention. The main method has specified signature and its static nature is a convention followed by Java program. It makes it clear that the method is intended to call without an object instance. So simply the main method in Java is declared as static to allow it to be entry point for the program without the need to create an instance of the class. Okay. So the next question is, what is the difference between list and say? Let's understand. So list, it allows duplicate elements. So element can be added multiple times and their order is preserved. And in case of set, it does not allow duplicate elements and each element in a set must be unique. Okay. So list, if the position of an element in the list is determined by the order of insertion or manipulation. And set, the element in a set can be stored in any order or it may change over time. So elements in a list can be accessed by their index. You can retrieve an element using the method like get index or iterate over the element using a loop. And elements in a set cannot be accessed by the index since there is no defined order. So to access element, you typically use iteration or specific method like contains element. So next question is, what is the difference between implicit wait and thread.slip? So implicit wait is used to set a maximum amount of time for the WebDriver to wait for an element to appear on the page. And thread slip pauses the execution of current thread for a specific amount of time. Implicit wait, it applied globally to all subsequent element lookups throughout the WebDriver instance lifetime. And thread.slip is not specified to Selenium and can be used in any Java program to introduce a delay. Okay, so implicit wait dynamically waits for a specified amount of time until the element is found or the timeout is reached. And thread.slip causes a fixed delay pausing the execution of entire thread including the WebDriver. So if the element is found before the specified wait time, the WebDriver proceeds with the next step immediately in case of implicit wait. And in case of thread slip, it does not wait for any specific condition or event to occur. Okay. So it is recommended to use implicit wait over thread slip as it's more efficient and provide better synchronization. And thread slip is not recommended as it may result in unnecessary delays or premature actions with elements. So the next question is, what are the different types of assertion in Selenium? So in Selenium, Java, there are several assertion libraries and frameworks available that provide different types of assertions to validate test conditions and ensure the correctness of the test result. So here are some commonly used assertions library in Selenium Java. So first one is test engine assertion. So this method is used to compare values, check conditions, and verify nullity and object references. So second one is JUnit assertion. So this method is used to perform assertions and validate test conditions. So these two methods offer various assertion methods like assert equals, assert not equals, assert true, assert false, assert null, assert not null, assert same, assert not same, and many more. So the third one is assert J. So it offers the extensive set of assertion method with a fluent and intuitive syntax. So it provides assertion like is equal to, is not equal to, is true, it false, is null, is not null, is same as, is not same as, and many more. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much. If you find this video informative, then do like, share the video and subscribe my easy.